My name is Ellen Tizzolo. This is my partner, Jesse, and our baby, Salo. Almost not a baby anymore. And first of all, I wanted to thank the members of the committee that are able to be here right now, and just for opening your hearts and your minds to the families that are here today, and other families that are impacted by this law that we're trying to change. Obviously, we're here to testify in support of HVAC 707 and HVAC 706. And from the moment that our child was born, we were full of excitement, joy, and also the terror that comes along with parenthood. Some of you maybe are also familiar with. The night of our child's birth, we spent about 45 minutes trying to put on a onesie because he was so tiny, and we were completely in awe and with deep respect for the tenderness of the sweet first moments of his life that we literally had in our hands. And I don't know any parents who aren't familiar with this, with the what ifs. What if I can't give my child what they need? What if they get sick? What if I can't protect them from every single possible thing in the world that could hurt them? And for us as a queer family, we had to bear some extra what ifs that many families don't have to have on repeat in their heads. And for me, this was the worst case scenario. What if something happens to me, the birth parent? What if I was incapacitated and our baby was taken away because Jesse, my spouse, didn't have the same parental rights as me and wasn't recognized as his full parent? What if I had become incapacitated during birth? Trust me, if I could have conceived a child with the DNA of my partner, I would have. But that wasn't an option for us, so we chose a sperm donor from a sperm bank that our child can have contact with when he turns 18. And though we had been married for almost 3 years when Salo was born, we felt completely unprotected from the real possibility that we could be traveling or even here in the state of Rhode Island and there could be a situation where Salo could be taken from us. So we found a lawyer, and for $2,500, this person agreed to navigate with us through this process of Jesse adopting our child. Thankfully, I worked for a really great organization who was outraged by the fact that we had to do this, and they rallied and raised money to help support us, along with several of our family and friends who all are really excited that we're here today in support of us. During the months leading up to our adoption day, we had meetings with our lawyer who told us that she would try her best to waive the requirement for advertisement, which she luckily did. But as you've heard, had she not been able to convince the judge to waive the advertisement, there would have been an advertisement in the local paper, local to I don't know where, because we don't know where the sperm donor is, that would have been asking if anyone wanted to come claim him, like he was some type of lost puppy. So, the low point for me, I had to appear one day in court for the adoption day. I left Jesse and Salo at home because during the proceeding I had to testify that Salo's father had abandoned him. And I didn't want him to hear that, and I didn't want Jesse to have to go through that either. So I went by myself. And then there was the home study, the medical exam, fingerprints, survey, and interview that Jesse had to go through, the release of financial information, 3 letters of reference about Jesse's character, which were all incredibly offensive, very painful, and homophobic. Like you've heard, what kind of neighborhood did you grow up in? Did you know your neighbors? How did your parents talk to you about sex? How were you disciplined as a child? Having a stranger who would completely, also the person who came into our home had no idea what it was like for queer families to be going through what we were going through. Having him come into our home and grill us with invasive and offensive questions was quite frankly a waste of all of our time and of the resources of the state. And I have to say, it's been said so much before, we're a family with an incredible amount of privilege, so we didn't get held up by some of the questions on the questionnaire and parts of the process that really, truly are racist and classist. And we all know about the institutional barriers that people of color and poor people face in every single one of the systems in our society. And this system is no different, trust me. So we know that there's families who are much more vulnerable than us who aren't able to get heritage rights. So by the time the adoption day came, Jesse had been staying home with Salo for about 8 months. I had gone back to work full time. And it seemed so strange to me that there would even be this question of Jesse's status as a parent. The day of the adoption, our lawyer asked us if we wanted to take a picture with the judge, who I think was kind of accustomed to people wanting to have a celebration on the day of their adoption, and we said no thanks. Because for us, honestly, it really wasn't a celebration. It was the end of a really painful and offensive process. So we declined, headed home, we were relieved, and honestly really resentful of the fact that we had to go through all of what we had to go through just to get the same basic protections that other people have without all the painful, deeply offensive, and stressful processes that we had to go through. So, in your hands is the power to support the state of Rhode Island in doing right by LGBTQ families and other families that are impacted by this law. And to my child, Mommy, he calls Jessie Mommy, he calls me Mama, so you can hear him saying, Mommy, Mommy. To him, there has never been a question who his parents are. Not for 1 second. When he was inside me, we would lay next to each other, and Jessie could feel his heartbeat.
Oh. Well, thank you very
There's never
much.
been a question, and so it's time for Rhode Island to have the same certainty as we have about our own family.
Thank you very much, Ellen and Jessie.
Thank you.
And your beautiful baby.